So sorry.
Okay. We'll watch our mobile model. Don't
Okay.
worry. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Okay. Just trying to get the. Okay, start with the prayers, and hopefully by then this computer is going to be all right. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayet Nashtapraya Savadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Utamashloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtikim. Hare Krishna. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve Srimad Bhagavatam today. I'm attempting to share the screen, but it's not happening. My apologies. So I will be covering today texts 43 and 44, Srimad Bhagavatam 10 Canto, chapter 12. Vayam dayantamaloke gurapi kshatravandava vayapi vamumuhustadvam vattava punyam krishna katamritam. Synonyms: Vayam, we are. Dhanyatama, most glorify, loke, in this world. Guru, O my Lord, my spiritual master. Api, although. Kshatriya Bandavaha, the lowest of the Kshatriyas, because we did not act like Kshatriyas. Vayam, we are. Pivamaha, drinking. Muhu, always. Vataha, from you. Punyam, pious. Krishna Katha Amritam, the nectar of Krishna Katha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O my Lord, my spiritual master, although we are the lowest of the Kshatriyas, we are glorified and benefited because we have the opportunity of always hearing from you the nectar of the pious activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. The pious activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are very confidential. It is not ordinarily possible to hear such activities unless one is very, very fortunate. Parikshit Maharaj placed himself as a Kshatriya Bandhavaham, which means the lowest of the Kshatriyas. The qualities of the Kshatriya are described in Bhagavad Gita, and although the general quality of the Kshatriya is Ishvara Bhava, the tendency to rule, a Kshatriya is not supposed to rule over a Brahmana. Thus Maharaj Parikshit regretted that he had wanted to rule over the Brahmanas and had therefore been cursed. He considered himself the lowest of the Kshatriyas. Dhanam Ishvara Bhavas Chakshatram Karma Svavajam. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, text 43. There was no doubt that Maharaj Parikshit had the good qualities of a Kshatriya, but as a devotee, he presented himself with submissiveness and humility as the lowest of the Kshatriyas, remembering his act of wrapping a dead servant around the neck of a Brahmana. A student and disciple has the right to ask the Guru about any confidential service, and it is the duty of the Guru to explain these confidential matters to his disciple. Text 44. Shishuta Uvacha Itam sma pristasa tu badara yanis, tasmaritanantan kritahilendraya, kricharat purnam lavda bahir, drishi shanai, pratyaha tam bhagavato tammotama. Synonyms. Sri Sutta Uvacha, Sri Sutta Goswami said, Itam, in this way, Sma, in the past, Prista, being inquired from, Saha, hey, he, too, indeed, Badra, Badarayani, Sukadeva Goswami, that, by him, Sukadeva Goswami, Smarita Ananta, as soon as Lord Krishna was remembered, Rita, lost in ecstasy, Akila Indraya, all actions of the external senses, Kircharat, with great difficulty, Puna, again, Lavda Bahidrishi, having revived his external sensory perception. Sarna, slowly. Pratyaham, reply. Tam, unto Maharaj Parikshit. Bhagavata Uttama Uttama, O great saintly person, greatest of all devotees, Shonaka. Translation. Sutta Goswami said, O Shonaka, greatest of saints and devotees, when Maharaj Parikshit inquired from Sukadeva Goswami in this way, Sukadeva Goswami immediately, remembering subject matters about Krishna within the core of his heart, externally lost contact with the actions of his senses. Thereafter, with great difficulty, he revived his external sensory perception and began to speak to Maharaj Parikshit about Krishna Katha. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purpose of the 10th canto, 12th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled The King of the Demon, Agasura. Om Agyanatimirandasya Agyanandalashalakaya Chakshirunitam Dinatasaya Sri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna again, nice seeing you all. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay, good, otherwise it's on your end. But anyways, so thank you for the opportunity to be of service this morning for you, evening for me right now. So we can see how Maharaj Parikshit, his humility in addressing Sukadeva Goswami, acknowledge his own fallen position, although he was the most exalted personality, but he was expressing his deep gratitude for the opportunity to hear these transcendental pastimes of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this was a good fortune for him. Why? Because as we know, he knew that death was just knocking at the door. So what is the best thing that he did? Go and enjoy life. All right. He went and prepared himself and got the right association and prepared himself. So he is he's showing that in spite of being a great emperor, a descendant of the Pandavas, Parikshit Maharaj refers to himself as Kshatriya Bandavaha, the lowest among the Kshatriyas. And this humility reflects his profound realization of his own faults and sincere devotion. He recognizes that his real fortune is not in his royal heritage and his power and being related to the Pandavas, but rather in being able to hear from a pure devotee the nectarian descriptions of the Lord's divine activities. And as it is stated in these verses, which are rarely accessible to ordinary souls. So if we are having the opportunity to come together and actually hear these transcendental pastimes, we are also blessed. As a matter of fact, before we start the Bhagavatam, reading of Bhagavatam, what do we chant? Nasta Proyesa Bhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatam Muttamash Bhakti Bhavati Nashtiki. What is that? By regular attendance in classes of the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And in loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. So we pray we sing this verse every day, but do we really make a connection with it? Or sometimes we take it for granted, like many other things that we take for granted. So over here we are seeing a great personality being so humble and so respectful in this approach. And Srila Prabhupada elaborates in his purport, let me just go back there, that the pious activities of the Supreme Lord are extremely confidential. They are not topics for material or mundane discussions, right? Or philosophical speculation. But they are narrations that are transcendental, they are going above and beyond, this material platform. And they are revealed only to those who are spiritually qualified or blessed, because I'm not qualified, but I consider myself blessed and grateful for the opportunity to hear and have received these messages and receiving these messages from a bona fide spiritual master in the right parampara or disciplic successions. So Maharaj Parikshit, referring himself as a fallen Kshatriya, imagine if Maharaj Parikshit is considering himself as a fallen Kshatriya, what can we expect of people in Kali Yoga, with particular at these times, so hard for everyone in every corner in the world. So these are not topics of mundane discussion or for spiritual, philosophical speculation, but transcendental narrations. They are revealed only to the blessed ones and only by the mercy of the Lord, because nothing happens without the mercy of the sanction of the Lord. And so he shows the power of humility, and although again he possesses all the noble qualities of a kshatriya, the strength of a kshatriya, and his valor, his generosity, his leadership, he felt still remorse. Srila Prabhupada explains, for his previous offense, against the Brahmana, and Samika Rishi, I think. When the yes, Samika Rishi. Sorry. When he goes and he wants water, he thinks that the rishi is pretending to be sleeping and he doesn't want to pay attention. But it didn't happen because Maharaj Parikshit was not an exalted emperor or educated emperor. It's because Kali was actually placed on his crown, right, gold. So that's why he reacted in that way. But nevertheless, he was repentant, because after that, when the rishi didn't open the eyes and to greet him, he put a dead snake that was there and around his neck. And of course, the rishi's son is the one who gave him a course, But nevertheless, this moment of irritation, led to being cursed, and you're going to die in 7 days. And this is a course that ultimately became the Lord's arrangements for him to attain spiritual perfection, right? So a true disciple like Maharaj Parikshit is approaching the spiritual master with humility and with eagerness to hear more, about this most confidential message. Um, and Krishna Kathas, or these narrations of the Lord. And um, it is the duty of a guru to impart this truth, this knowledge to any disciple. No. What was the instruction here? He says, to the one who is sincere and submissive disciple. So sometimes we can, particularly nowadays, we may want to have a guru because it's fashionable, or because so and so have a guru, therefore I must have a guru too. Are we ready for that? It's a big responsibility. And so we have to make sure about the step that we are going to take. Are we sincere? Are we submissive? Um, Maharaj Parikshit is giving us a wonderful example over here. When Sukadeva Goswami heard Parikshit Maharaj inquire so sincerely, he was immediately absorbed in deep um, thoughts and memories and remembrance of Krishna's pastimes. And here saying that he went into a temporarily, he lost temporarily all his external sensory awareness. He was just there in that moment. Externally he was there, his eyes were closed, immovable, but internally he was with Krishna. He was seeing the pastimes of the Lord. As a matter of fact, we even have devotees, disciples of Srila Prabhupada, who had said that Prabhupada sometimes will get in that stage of ecstasy. He will just, if tears will flow from his eyes, and he will even see, many times, like even see, you see, Narada Muni was here at the kirtan. This happened with sincere devotees. When the Lord is manifesting, is having the mercy of coming to revealing himself to these exalted personalities. How fortunate, and how fortunate again we are of being connected to such a devotee, because they are the ones who can help us. Imagine if Maharaj Parikshit would have known that, okay, you have 7 days to die. What am I going to do? Sit in here and just wait for that to come? No, he was advised, okay, you go here, and there's Sukadeva Goswami is going to protect you. Protect you by giving you the knowledge, the vision, the right vision. Yeah. So, and he was inquiring submissively and sincerely. And as a matter of fact, the Bhagavatam starts by the sages. We talk about the first verses all about inquiring submissively, sincerely and submissively. So, Sukadeva Goswami's example, we can see how bhakti, real bhakti, acts, and that even when speaking or even thinking of Krishna, it just overwhelms the heart of a pure devotee, and it goes in transcendental ecstasy. So this exchange between Maharaj Parikshit and Sukadeva Goswami so show us the ideal relationship between a guru and disciple. The disciple approaches with humility and faith, and eager to hear the truth, and sometimes, accept the the danda, the chastisement from the correction of the spiritual master. That's also important. Like, okay, my Guru Maharaj, I did something wrong and he chastised me and I didn't like it. Well, when we are kids or adults, when we do something and our parents also, have the danda, we're not supposed to be upset. We are thankful for the correction. And at the same time, while when the disciple is eager to inquire from the spiritual master, then the spiritual master, the guru, is moved by compassion and love for Krishna, and that helps him reveals to the disciple the mysteries of Krishna and his divinity, and help us make that connection. So through this dialogue, the entire world gain access to the wisdom of Srimad Bhagavatam, and it's there for everyone to take advantage of. Agasura, we have covered right all this chapter, and we know what Agasura represents, what Anarthas represents, and the violence. So he wanted to kill Krishna. He wanted to avenge his brother and his sister. He was sent to kill Krishna. Could he do it? Absolutely not. But see how everything is arranged very nicely, because as we come to the end of these pastimes, this pastime prepare is preparing us for the next chapter. Chapter 13. I'm not going to go that. I think Anapur is going to be cover the summary tomorrow. But again, what can we learn from this pastime as we go back and analyze the whole chapter, the whole lila, from the time when Krishna is playing with his friends, and he is planning one fine day just to go and have a picnic, with them. And off they go. What can we learn about also Mother Yasoda, trying to tell Krishna, oh, come on, let me get you ready, and then you can go and play with your friends. And so little pastime, little things that can fill our daily lives and fill our heart. And what is our practical realization? What is the first thing that we see here? The power of humility. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has emphasized this, and we always talk about humility, and every day seems that we are put into tests, test our humility, our tolerance. Humility is not a weakness. It's actually a strength. It's a character, and it takes a lot of character to be humble. Over here, we're seeing such a powerful kshatriya being so humble and talking in that way. Srila Prabhupada, when he signs the Marketed, the poem that he wrote when he first arrived at the U.S. and on board of a Jaladuta, he signs, your most insignificant beggar. Really? Srila Prabhupada? So we can, by reading, by analyzing, by internalizing these pastimes, we can cultivate humility by remembering that our knowledge, our power, our achievements are all temporary. And ultimately, they're gifts. And these gifts also have an expiration date. Because when we leave, they're not going to come with us. The good actions are going to be we're going to be deposited in a bank account, our Bhakti account. So while we can approach our spiritual masters submissively, with humility, work, have relationships, and open the heart to growth, to cooperation and understanding. When we admit our limitations and stay open to being corrected, then we make genuine spiritual and personal progress. As long as we are close, hermetically close, and nothing can go, no, I'm right, and who are you to tell me that I'm wrong? No. First of all, we have no business, correcting anybody else. This is reserved for our right authority. If our Guru Maharaj is telling us you need to correct these things, then we should do it. We should listen. We can question. Srila Prabhupada says, yes, we can question. You have questions and you will get answers. And that brings to another point, which is listening, hearing from the right source, from a bona fide spiritual master, in our lives, this means choosing to listen to the right people who inspire, who have these values, who are truthful, and with good values, rather than those with the lower tendencies. We respect everybody, but we respectfully move aside. Reading Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, listening to our teachers, listening to Srila Prabhupada, engaging in positive positive conversations with Krishna at the center, and nourishing our heart and the heart of others, because it's not about me, mine. It's about everyone. It's about loving everyone. It's about recognizing the Lord in the heart of every single living entity. When we do that, that will keep us grounded, and will keep us grounded in goodness. And it's okay also to, just like Parikshit Maharaj, he remembered that the offense that he had committed, by insulting the rishi, by putting the dead snake around his neck. So we all make mistakes, even if we think we don't. Yes, we all make mistakes. How do we respond to them? That's a different thing. We can reflect and we say, like, yes, I made a mistake and I'm sorry, and own it, right? And honestly own it. And as well, this is my actions, and I need to take responsibility about it. And so we can transform that mistake or guilt into wisdom, because guilt is very detrimental for spiritual or for anything that we do, particularly spiritual life. So we need to move into that. So we know what we did wrong. We own it. We take responsibility, and we see how we transform that into knowledge, into something positive. But being beg forgiveness and self-improve. So that will allow us to evolve and to probably live more close to Dharma, to have a righteous living. Again, acknowledging the Lord in the heart of every single living entity is a good way to start, because that is only going to help us. And the exchanges between guru and disciple, or a mentor, a well-wisher. Srila Prabhupada always signed what? Your ever well-wisher. So someone wiser who can guide us, a bona fide teacher who can guide us, and with insight and with experience. And we can also help others, probably at work, at school. We can be mentors for others, sharing this knowledge, sharing Krishna consciousness with others, building relationships based on trust, on respect, true strengths for both personal and um, collective growth. Everyone, the more the merrier, right? So I know it's Kali Yoga. There's a lot of distractions, there's a lot of negativity. So learning to focus the mind in something higher, and this is as higher as it can get, through meditation, through chanting the holy names, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Through praying, through mindfulness, being there, not being here and being here. Yeah. No, being there, being in the moment, that can bring peace and clarity. And regularly remembering Krishna, even briefly, it will help us reduce or get rid of our stress and our ego. And these are very detrimental, because sometimes these things that we have had for years and years, the stresses or the traumas that we may have been carrying for even childhood, it has a detrimental effect in our lives sooner or later. So if we take advantage and if we embrace this knowledge, it can help us tremendously. Life's difficulties can serve as a turning point to our spiritual awakening if we approach them with faith and surrender, not questioning faith, but approaching it with faith. Instead of seeing challenges as punishments, we can see them as an invitation to deepen our inner life and reconnect what truly matters. So, true spiritual progress comes from humility, sincere and submissive inquiry, from repentance, and of course, devotee association. Those um, those connections who can help us uh, move forward and change our experiences into opportunities for reaching Krishna. And as Prabhupada always emphasized, always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. So with that, I finished. Thank you very much for the opportunity again for being of service, and please forgive my shortcomings. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuve vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. You are in India. Yeah, that dog barking behind you too much. That is the thing. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
No, thank you. Thank you.